Now, the Polish Senate has approved a bill making it illegal to accuse a Polish nation or state of complicity in the Nazi Holocaust. The bill sets fines for a maximum 3-year jail term as punishment. Israeli MPs are outraged and in response are seeking to strengthen their own Holocaust denial laws. We're joined now by Ryvchin, a writer and Director of Public Affairs at the Executive Council of Australian Jewry. Now, Alex, the Polish president has said Poland has the right to defend historical truth. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it certainly does, but this legislation goes far beyond that. So the law could have the effect of preventing people from discussing Poland's role in the annihilation of 3 million Polish Jews during the Holocaust. And of course, the Poles were victims of Nazi Germany as well, and this is what the Polish Parliament is seeking to address. Poland was invaded and occupied from September 1939. Nazi Germany viewed the Poles as being racially inferior. Large parts of the country were ethnically cleansed. In Katyn, 22,000 Polish officers and members of the intelligentsia were brutally murdered. And many Poles acted nobly and heroically during the Holocaust, sheltering and saving their Jewish neighbours. But this is really only part of the story. Polish police units participated in every phase of the extermination process. As Jan Grabowski, the Polish historian, has said, many Poles collaborated with the Nazis to try and realize their own dreams of a Jew-free Poland. In places like Jedbavny, 340 Jews were crammed into a barn and set alight, burned alive by their Polish neighbors.
Yep.
In Kielce, 42 Jews were beaten to death by a Polish mob.
But Alex, this bill is not giving people the right to deny that individual Poles were complicit in the Holocaust.
Well, look, it goes beyond simply talking about the state, it talks about the nation. And it won't be clear until the law is actually tested what the implications of it will be. But I think it's pretty clear from some of the rhetoric and the long trajectory in Poland of trying to suppress dissident historians that this isn't merely about preventing people from calling Nazi death camps Polish death camps. I think this is about going far further and suppressing a very inconvenient truth.
But at the same time, you can appreciate the Polish government's stance and why it's had to act on this.
Well, like I said, I understand them taking exception to people calling the Nazi death camps Polish death camps. Barack Obama did so in 2012, and it's an inaccurate term. It gives the impression that these were camps operated and created by Poland, which of course they were not. But like I said, this legislation could go far further than simply laying blame at the feet of the state. And we must bear in mind that while the Polish government was not in itself a collaborationist regime, as we saw, for example, in Hungary and in Romania, various apparatuses of the state did participate in the killing process. Local mayors, councils, also Polish police. So this legislation could have a real chilling effect on the ability to look at the role of Poland in the murder of 3 million of its Jews.
When you say the legislation could go quite a lot further, I understand Poland was in discussion with Israel prior to Poland making this move. Are you surprised that they did so without further discussion with Israel?
Yeah, there were reports that the Polish government would liaise with their Israeli counterparts to perhaps reach some sort of a concession, but the law has effectively passed. It just needs presidential assent, which will come. And the reports we're seeing is that very many members of the Israeli parliament are outraged, and rightly so. Israel views itself as, it's the nation state of the Jewish people, and it views itself as having a special role in protecting the history of the Jewish people. And it's right to be outraged, but the outrage isn't confined to Israel. The United States has condemned this. Ukraine, which is grappling with its own past of collaboration in the Holocaust, has also condemned this law and said that this will damage Ukrainian-Polish relations.
Well, how will the passing of this bill in Poland affect relations with Israel?
It's difficult to know. They have extensive relations across very many areas, but Israel is rightly outraged about this. I suspect that in time this will pass, but once a prosecution is brought under the law, I think this will be scrutinised once more.
Okay, thank you so much for your analysis tonight and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.